Hey everybody, Kenji aka NumotTheNummy here, bringing you another Innistrad block draft. I guess this is the first one we've done here, but we're going to go ahead and jump in the queue. And yeah, we'll bring it back when the event fires. Alright, the draft has fired and we have opened our pack. Opened a pretty misfortunate rare. The Black Curse that doesn't really do anything. Haven't drafted it before, I don't think I'm going to start now. Our flip card is the Wolf-Bitten Captive, which is a very good card. Like most one-drop flippers, you know, if you're on the play, or even if you're on the draw, you can often just get it to flip right away and get a pretty big advantage. I almost like this guy more on the front side as a 1/1 that can pump for 2, you know, the Root Walla, as it were. But on his flip side, once you get to 4 mana, he can have some significant benefits of getting +4/+4. One second. I think there are a few actually good picks in here. Towergeist as well as Fires of Undeath. I'm going to go with the Fires here. It's a removal spell. It has flashback. It does everything you want it to. But there are a few good cards in here. We're running low on time, so I'm just going to go ahead and snap that up. Ooh, and we get a nice pass. Somebody passed us a Fiend of the Shadows. This isn't exactly like the best card, but you know, 3/3 flyers for 5 are typically the norm for limited, and this has a pretty relevant ability. I mean, if it ever gets in, even if it's just a land or something, you get to play a card of theirs, and it has the sacrifice, regenerate if you have a human. Looks like we might be going red-black off the bat, and red-black doesn't really have that many humans, save for the werewolves in red. Yeah, there's just not that much here in the pack. I mean, there's like a Sea Kite rather, Niblis of the Urn, which is very good in the aggressive decks. But we'll go with the Fiend. We already like red-black here, and we'll stick with it. And for pick number 3, I think we're gonna go with the Ripper. I'm not a big fan of the card, but I think we might be going like the Vampire route, the aggro Vampire. We'd really like to see a captain in the next few picks, but that's probably not going to happen. The only other strong cards in the pack are off color, and I don't want to take them here, like the Stormbound Geist, Dawnshredder Elk, Strangleroot. Oh, what happened? Oh, another event, which we happened to win. Anyway, yeah, Strangleroot Geist, and Lost in the Woods. Yeah, we're just going to go with the Ripper here. It's not that much else for us, as I said before, that's not off color, so we'll just stick with our guns and go with that. Yikes, okay. So next pick 4 here, we have some more good green stuff. It looks like we might want to jump into green. We've seen quite a few, I mean not quite a few, but the last few picks have been green heavy, or at least green dominated. There's nothing really in black-red that I'd want to take here. Deadly Allure is fine, but it's mostly best if you have the flashback. Some good white cards. I think I'm going to go with the Wild Hunger here, though. It's like one of the best combat tricks, and I'm not too upset audibling into red-green here. It's one of my more favorite archetypes. Scorn Villager is also another fine pick. I think these are the two best cards, the Villager and the Wild Hunger, but I'm going to go with the Hunger here. And the next pick, well, let's see. The good cards in the pack are Young Wolf, which is actually pretty decent. It's really annoying. Relentless Scab, Faithless Looting, Chosen of Markov goes well with the red-black that we already have, and Black Cat is more control-ish, but also okay. I like Young Wolf more than the Chosen of Markov, but I think I'm going to go with the Chosen here. Just stick with the black-red. I mean, if we could be able to play our black-red, we'd really be happy, because then we'd get the Fires flashback quite easily. And we already have 2 Vampires for the Chosen, so I think that's an okay pick. And, like Wild Hunger is a really high pick in my opinion. It's just such a strong combat trick, especially when you're in the red-green. Here, I'm just going to take the Hinterland Hermit, I think. It goes in our red color just fine, and I don't really want to take a Faithless Looting. I'd rather have another creature. There could be like there's a case to take the Wild Hunger, but then again we've already passed some good stuff already, so I think I'm just gonna go with the Hermit. And ooh, okay, so we got a Torture here, so looks like we might be able to do the Vampire plan all right. The only other card in here that we'd probably take is the Faithless Looting. Like I said, Black Cat is fine, but we're on the Vampire route, not the Zombie, and we're not so much into the Control-ish. So we'll go with the Torture. And we hit pretty much a blank here. Some decent white cards. We're not going to jump ship now. We're not going to play the Reap the Seagraph either. Like the only card we might play is the Warden of the Wall, so I'm going to go ahead and take that here. Okay, that's pretty nice. So our Falconwrath Torture wield. We also got a Faithless Looting in the pack. I think if there's a Faithless Looting still here, we might be able to get one of the other ones later in the pack, so for that reason I'm going to take the Falconwrath Torture here. Like, the Torture is not that great in the red-black vampire deck because, you know, you want to be sacrificing humans, so white is usually the other pair with that, but I think if we're going to stick with this tribal thing, I'm just going to take the Torture. And nothing here for us except for the Grave Purge, which we're actually pretty happy to take. I mean, with the sack outlets that we already have, Grave Purge, you know, is pretty fine. And worst comes to worst, it cantrips. Or it's a free roll, you know, you just pay it for 3, don't target a creature, and draw a card. Yeah, I guess we're happy to take a Near Heath Stalker here. Nothing else in the pack for us, and hey, it's a vampire. Looks like our Faithless Looting is not going to wheel. I'm not going to pay the Talons of Falconwrath. I'm probably not going to take the Gruesome Discovery. But the Haunted Fengraf is probably not going to get played since we're probably going to have heavy commitment. Whatever, I'll just take the Gruesome. Some more junk. Oh, okay, nice. So we got a 14th pick Faithless Looting. So one of them did wheel. Happy about that. Works really nicely with the Grave Purge too. You know, early game you cast it, discard some creatures if you need some land or something, and then you can rebuy them later. Okay, let's see. So the first Innistrad pack is opened here, and oh, looks like kind of a blank for us. The cards I see, I guess, are the Ghoul Caller's Chant, Burial Rites, Blazing Torch, the Hound, and Walking Corpse. I am not a fan of Creepy Doll at all. I just think this card is really, really bad. It does have some applications, but I'm just not a fan at all. So I think the pick here is between the Blazing Torch and the Ashmouth Hound. Burial Rites is certainly strong, and once again it works well with our sack outlets and the Faithless Looting. But I don't think I'm gonna take it here. I don't know if I feel like splashing white all that much as of yet. I mean, I guess we don't need to splash the white, but I think the Blazing Torch is a fine enough pick. You know, it just goes into any deck, and hey, it's removal. Hopefully we get past something good. Unbreathing Horde does not count since we're on the vampire route, not the zombies. I guess, well, the clear pick is Guys Catch a Rig. I mean, Pitchburn Devils is perfectly fine, but the rig deals with flyers, which is something that we need to watch out for, and you know, it's colorless, so it goes into any deck. Jeez, look at all this green going around. And nothing for us to take. Like, the only pick we have is Rotting Fensnake, and I don't want to make that pick. I'm just going to take the Shepherd. Like, Fensnake would probably go into our deck, but I'm not going to take it this day. I'd rather take something that's actually going to be, or something that's actually substantial. Well, there's a treat. So we get a 4th pick Juggernaut. And Juggernaut goes really well in our deck. Like, we have already a few sacrifice outlets and some nice removal, so yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Snap that up. Ooh, okay. Decision time. Good 4-drop that synergizes well, or Vampire Interloper. I think the pick is the Skursdag Cultist. Like, if we had the Stromkirk Captain, if we got that out of the first pack, I'd probably take the Vampire Interloper. But since we didn't, I can't commit to the vampire route all that much. I mean, sure, we do have a lot of vampires, but you know, we're not going to really get any benefits off having that many. Um, and we're lacking in 2 and 4, so either one is actually probably a fine pick, but I'm just going to go with the Scourge. Alright, nice, nice. I think I'm going to take the Ashmouth Hound here. I don't really want another 5-drop, and the Scourge is, you know, it can be big, and it's perfectly fine, but I'd rather have a 2-drop. I want to be more aggressive. Huh, interesting. We actually have a few options here. Like, Traitorous Blood is actually a thing. Let's see how many sacrifice outlets we have. Like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sack outlets. Well, I guess that one's only for humans, but 3 pseudo sack outlets. Man, this is actually a moderately tough pick. I don't think it's between Traitorous Blood and anything else, but like this, another Scourge, Markov is perfectly fine, and I guess to some lesser extent Typhoid Rats. I'm going to go with either the Patrician or the Scourge, and, well, it's an uncommon, and I think it's a little bit better quality than the Patrician, so we'll go with the Scourge. Alright, pretty much a blank for us here. I guess I could take the Führer, although I'm perfectly fine with Brain Weevil. 1 in the deck is fine by me. Once again, it synergizes with the Juggernaut, and, you know, can get rid of their last 2 cards, whatever those may be. Creepy Dull Wield, since it's that bad. Ghoul Caller's Chant is fine. I mean, it's not going to get 2 creatures back in our deck, but like I said before, we have so many sacrificed things that, you know, it could be good. I'm going to just take the Walking Corpse, though. I want another 2-drop creature, and I'm not worrying about picking up another Ghoul Caller's Chant later in the draft. All right, I guess Riot Devils or Brain Weevil. I mean, I'm more likely to play the Riot Devils since we already have a Brain Weevil, but this one's foil. No, I think Riot Devils is the correct pick. And this garbage wield. I mean, I guess we could take an Ancient Grudge once in a while for the sideboard. Actually, Fortress Crab does kind of stomp us, but we'll take the Fen Snake. Hey, there's a vampire. Not necessarily one that's the best, but it's a 5-drop, and, you know, it does a fine job. Actually, Wooden Stake kind of owns us, doesn't it? Oh well. Pretty much junk here. I'll take the Ghoul Caller's Bell. Curse of the Pierced Heart. That might be fringe playable. I mean, we're not the aggroist of vampire decks. We don't have any Neonates or Captains or anything, or 1-drops like Reckless Wave, but you never know. We actually have 23 playables just like that. Hey, let's open Bloodgift Demons, because those are pretty sweet, I hear. This pack is actually really good. I mean, there's also Brimstone Volley, Murder of Crows, Hamlet Captain, some other nice creatures, but can't pass up bombs that fly and get you card advantage, so there is that. Alright, so let's cut some things. Probably not playing Warden of the Wall, it's too defensive. Or Curse. I don't like Fen Snake in this deck. I'm probably going to cut one of these 5-drop vampires. Not the Fiend, but either the Stromkirk or the Nearheath. And it's probably going to be the Stromkirk just because the Nearheath has so much synergy with our sack outlets. Like being able to bash in, and then on their attack sacrifice, you know, the Nearheath to untap it and make it bigger is pretty sweet. Stuff like that. Alrighty, what do we got here? Yeah, a lot of goodies in this pack as well. I think I'm actually going to take Geist Flame here. Rage Thrower may be the little bit better card, but I think we have enough top-end removal spells and bomby-type creatures that we don't really need another 6-drop. And we do want a Geist Flame to get rid of all the small stuff in our way. Yeah, I'm going to take Geist Flame here. I mean, there's like a Crossway Vampire, Kessig Wolf, but Geist Flame is a nice early removal spell. Takes care of all the random creatures, and holy shit, man, we got Charmbreaker Devils and Blasphemous Act. Yeah, that is quite absurd. Gonna go with the Charmbreaker Devils here, but wow, 3rd pick. Huh. Like, this is splashable and it's foil, so I'm surprised that's still there. But let's see, the Charmbreaker Devil, what does it bring back for us? Fires of Undeath, good. Grave Purge, good. Geist Flame and Faithless Looting, both very good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Charmbreaker here. We have to watch out for the Blasphemous Act, but I think that pick was also pretty easy. So I guess I could go with a Rolling Tembler. I mean, well, no, that's bad. It kills almost everything of ours that's on the ground. I guess I'll just take the Altar's Reap. The Ghoul Razor only works well with our Walking Corpse, and I think we're going to be heavier red based on, what I'm looking at here already, so it's probably not going to come down that often. And I don't need another Riot Devils, so Altar's Reap it is. Ooh, nice one. Okay, we picked up a Reckless Waif. I think I do want to Pitchburn Devils eventually, just because of all the nice sack synergy it has. But again, the early aggression is pretty key, and since we're already heavier red, it's going to be nice. This is actually a decent moderate pick between Harvest Pyre and Demon Mail Hauberk. Like, the Hauberk makes any of our creatures pretty damn huge, and yeah, I'm going to go with the Harvest Pyre here. Don't need the Hauberk, have enough sacrifice outlets as it is. I think a Crossway Vampire is just what the Doctor ordered. That's not true. I think Ghoul Color's Chant. Let's see. I'm actually going to go with the Chant here, just because we have now a lot of bombs that we want to be able to bring back, and especially with our sack outlets, we can rebuy creatures and stuff. So, go with the Chant here, and get past a bunch of junk. I'm not going to play that card. Another Harvest Pyre. Like, running 2 is fringe, just because after the first one it's not as good, but it can be okay. Nightbird's Clutches works better with the Faithless Looting, but Village Ironsmith is a creature. I think we already have enough creatures though, so I'm going to go with the Clutch. I don't mind having one Clutch in the deck. It looks like it paid off sticking to our guns in red by the look of the last pack. Got some nice stuff. I mean, none of it is like supreme, I guess, except for the Charmbreaker Devils, but it is all very, decent. Random stuff, whatever. And our black actually wasn't very good, except for the bombs that we opened. It was just not very deep at all. But I think we can make a respectable deck out of this. So we'll have to see what we can do. I mean, we have enough bombs and removal that I think we can probably get there just fine. It's not the best of decks, but it certainly can do well. And in this deck, like, our Galvanic Juggernaut is never going to be tapped. Too many ways to kill stuff and sack stuff. Alrighty, here we are for deck building. And just throw all this junk in. Not a fan of the Ripper, but it could be okay in our deck. Not a fan of the Pariah or the Riot Devils. Those are all just okay cards. No Curse. Clutches could be fine. Yeah, all those are good. Fiend, Blood Gift. Like I said, I always like having like one Brain Weevil. But since we have the Brain Weevil, like, it's either Brain Weevil or Night Terrors. I don't like running both. One or the other. Like, this does a better targeted job, obviously a targeted job of getting rid of the cards, but I don't usually play the Brain Weevils till they have, 2 or 3 cards left in their hand anyway, so it's a nice way to just mind rot them for 4. But, I mean, if they have a lot of bombs and stuff, or early drop creatures that must be dealt with, like Daybreak Ranger or something, I like sideboarding in Night Terrors. I'm just going to start with the Brain Weevil, though. And some more stuff. Alright, so those are the cards I want to play, and that's 27. So we need to make 4 cuts here. I'm keen on cutting, like, Nightbird Clutches. While our deck is very aggressive, I think we have enough removal options that we don't really need to be killing them that fast. I also like cutting, I guess, 1 Harvest Pyre. The first one is going to be, pretty good. The second one is obviously worse. But I think running 2 is fine, but here I'm just going to cut 1. I do like 1 Altar's Reap, I think. I might cut the Grave Purge, which seems really wrong. I'm actually thinking about cutting the Brain Weevil. It might just be one of the worst creatures in our deck. I want to have all these 1-drops, I think. especially the chant. Like I said before, it buys back all of our top-end bombs that we want. So we need to make one more cut here. I think this deck is mana hungry. It has a lot of activated abilities with the Double Cultist, the Kessig Wolf, and a lot of the flashback cards that we want to be using. So that's pretty sweet. Let's take a look here at what the Charmbreaker Devils can buy back. Alright, so this is our removal suite. Whoops, that's not right. Not removal suite, I guess, the spell suite. So we have 1, 2, 3 removal spells, 4 counting the Blazing Torch, but that's not a spell, obviously. Well, I mean, an instant or sorcery spell. So all of our spells are pretty early game, 1 through 3. And we have a actually pretty nice curve of creatures. Oh, that's not a creature. Curve of creatures here. One creature cut. One creature cut. I think it actually might just be the Kessig Wolf. The question is, how many vampires do we have for, like, Chosen of Markov? And the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna cut the Chosen of Markov here. We only have 4 vampires to turn it on, and I don't think that's enough. I'd rather just have the Kessig Wolf. Alright, so that's 23 there. Good, good. And we have more red than black, and we don't have to worry about our black until like turn 3 basically, except for the Walking Corpse. Whereas red, we want to be doing stuff pretty early, consistently. Just checking once again. Like Erdwald Ripper, yeah, just all right. Yeah, we'll go with this, and we'll see what they suggest. So they suggest 9, 8 in favor of mountains. And I think I can get behind that. I could also see you doing like 10-7. I think that would be perfectly fine as well. And I think that actually might be what we end up doing here. Like, we do want to hit our Fiend of the Shadows and Bloodgift Demon right on time. But with 7 mana, you should be able to do that, and we do have those like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 spells that we'd want to cast in red that early. Yeah, I'm going to go with 10-7 here. I'll change it up if the mana doesn't seem correct. Okay. And No, I'm going to go 9-8 just in case. Like, to be honest, we only have 1 red spell that we actually want to cast on turn 1. Yeah, 9-8 should be okay. And we'll submit this and see you guys for round 1.